Good morning or good afternoon, all depending on where you're located at today. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is having the best day of your lives and celebrating Friday like a boss, right? It's beautiful outside. Lord knows that I'm having a great day. In case you didn't know, Fridays are always my best day of the week and the sun is shining like I said. My goodness, the warm air is blowing and buyers are shopping and buying. It was a busy week. I hope everyone else's business is starting to pick up as the sun starts to poke out and this cold weather goes back where it belongs. Man, you people that live along the coast and down in the warm areas, feel blessed. Feel very blessed that you don't have to worry about your water lines freezing. If you've got animals outside, they're okay, they're warm, they're sheltered, they've got water and food. I mean, it is just crazy. All the additional stuff that you have to deal with up here, let alone the snow, right? That's just the coldness. All right. Well, welcome to another Creating Opportunities. I'm your host, Bill Haga, Executive Loan Officer with Rocket Mortgage Local. Always stress local due to my local pricing is a good 1% to 1.25% lower than a call center, our call center in Detroit. All right. Did you hear that? I mean, I know I'm throwing out percentages. So let me break that down. On a $500,000 purchase, that's over a $5,000 savings. That's huge to pass on to a client just because they're working with me versus the call center. Okay. Local pricing, that's what it's all about. Today's agenda, the market and rates. Interesting one. Very interesting, especially what's going on over in the Middle East. And then next, Rocket and Compass collaboration. Some of you might have heard. I haven't seen too much of it in the news, but yet, with everything going on with the war and the constant parade of that, I've kind of chose to be more selective in what I'm viewing. So I haven't really seen much come out myself, but I know that information's out. And then it's tax return season, right? We love this time of year. People have money. It's a great thing. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the agenda. The market and rates. Escalating tensions in the Middle East are pushing oil prices higher. The administration plan is to introduce measures to support Gulf oil trade, including risk insurance and tanker escorts. Wow, it's really come down to this. And this is all happening in the Persian Gulf to help vessels pass through the Strait of Hormuz. I guess that's that little narrow place where all the ships and all of our cargo passes through. And then on top of that, the initial jobless claims were 213,000 below the 215,000 forecasted. Productivity and labor costs rose more than expected, adding pressure on the yields. Anytime that you see pressure on the yields, that's that's pretty much a direct indicator that interest rates, the cost of interest rates are going to increase. Okay. On Wednesday, and this market's like pretty crazy, especially with everything that's taken place. So on Wednesday, the rate improved by a cost of 0.125% to 2 point or 0.25% based off of, depending on what program it was. All right. So based off the news, the war with Iran will be a short lived one, right? We thought that we'd bomb them quick, furious, and then they'd give up. Unfortunately, the reverse happened on Thursday. Interest rates actually got worse on Thursday by 0.25% to 0.375%, depending on the program, after Iran said that they didn't want to stop the war. They have no desire to stop. They want to take this thing to the very end, right? That's just who they are. It seems like with this leadership. So you can just see how volatile the market is regarding this type of information. All right. War is never a good thing in the market. All right. It always has a tendency to drive those interest rates up versus down. So another reason I just don't like, a lot of people ask me, what's your rate today? It's one of the hardest questions to ask or to really answer. And it sounds like it's a stupid response, but there's really like seven factors that make up what rate each of us will get, the cost of the rate based off each person's last 2 years of history. So there's seven factors that go into that. We'll cover that next week, the seven factors, but just to touch on it, that's why I don't quote rate. Someone asked me, Bill, quote a rate today. What you got? I'm like, well, who's your borrower? What's their credit score, loan to value? Then I start going down that path, right? Because that's really what determines what that rate is. These posted rates, they're just posted rates. They really don't mean a whole bunch. Okay. You got to qualify for those things. All right. Enough about that. Has anyone heard or seen in the news about Rocket's most recent collaboration with the real estate company Compass? It's kind of the focus of today's agenda. Um, Under Compass's umbrella consists of 200,000 plus agents. All right, they're huge. All right, so they include the following companies: Compass Legacy, Washington Fine Properties, Christie's International, App Properties, it's a pretty big one, Ansley, Realty Austin, Ladder and Bloom, Parks, Porchlight, Cunningham Chalk, Colorado Home Realty. Okay. Then there's more. Anywhere owned brokerage, Coldwell Banker, Concorian, Sotheby's International Realty, and then anywhere franchised, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, ERA Real Estate, Better Homes and Gardens, Concorian Affiliates, and Sotheby's International Affiliates. That's a ton of people. That's a lot of companies. Once again, that's over 200,000 plus real estate agents that this is now going to affect. All right. That's a bunch of you. All right. If you work for any of these companies, please contact me. All right. You need to contact me so we can unlock this promotion. It's going to give your clients, they work with both of us, up to a $6,000 lender credit that can be applied to their down payment, their closing cost, buying down the rate. It doesn't matter. Or they can choose a free, 1.0 temporary rate buy down. What's a free 1.0 temporary rate buy down? For example, this is just an example. If I lock the rate at 5.5%, they'll actually receive a payment based off of a 4.5% for the first 12 months. That's huge, right? That is a special that clients can only get if they're collaborating with the both of us. Okay. So that's huge. So if you're working currently for any of these companies, please contact me. Let's get some things together, right? Let's get some marketing co-branded. Let's get some materials out there and start promoting this promotion in collaboration. All right, that's huge. Once again, it's another way of helping our clients. All right. How do our clients benefit from this collaboration? A lot of people have asked me that. Keep in mind they gain access to more homes in one place, and sellers have more choices in how their home is going to be marketed. All right. This also creates a more connected experience across real estate and mortgage. Right. There's always been like this big gap. This is trying to bring things for a little smoother transition. And this is also including, preferred pricing when our clients are working with both of us, right? I mean, the $6,000 lender credit's pretty huge, especially for those people who make too much money to qualify for any down payment programs, right? There's a whole bunch of people that fit in that category. All right. This is perfect for them. Okay. All right. Next thing, tax season. Holy smokes. I love tax season. Give me my money back, Uncle Sam. That is exactly what I'm screaming, right? And I think everybody else is doing the same thing, right? So if your client's got money, imagine teaming them up with the $6,000 lender credit, right? Now they're expecting that they have to come out of pocket for this money because that's what they've been told. They've been saving. And now all of a sudden, bam, we got a program that's actually going to save them money and keep some of that money in their pocket. Okay. Remember, we have the One Plus program. That's 1% down. That's a 2% lender credit off the top. You can't mix and match these, can't double dip. However, I'm talking tax season, right? So that's perfect for tax season. Once again, the collaboration will also kick in and take care of that other piece. However, if you're not working with one of these agents um, and myself, right? Because you got to be part of that collaboration in order to get that special, right? Keep in mind, we still have stuff running all the time. Like for instance, with your tax money, you can go right in here, put 1% down. We'll cover the 2% on your down payment for a total of 3%. When it comes to seller credits on a conventional loan, they can cover up to 3% on a purchase price. Um, for an FHA, that seller can cover up to 6% of the purchase price. Okay. Some different ways that we can work that in. We can always increase the purchase price 9 out of 10 times if it's priced correctly. Um, we can come in there and bump the purchase price up by 4 or 5 grand, 10 grand, depending on the location in the house, and ask for seller credit that way as well if the seller is not willing to come off of their proceeds or if they don't have any room, right? Sometimes these deals are tight. Some of these buyers have only been in the house for a year or two. So there's just really not a lot of equity already sitting there, right? Make sense? All right. Those are that's it. I mean, that's what I have for today. It's Friday. It's beautiful. I'm almost ready to play hooky. It's so beautiful outside. I think it's like 75 degrees. Been all cooped up, freezing. I need some vitamin D. So that's all I have for today. I appreciate you. I want everyone to have an awesome day, but more importantly, I want everyone to have an awesome weekend. Okay. This weekend is going to be amazing. There's going to be buyers and sellers popping up all over the place. Okay. So make sure you're manding your business, make sure your phone's on, and you're ready to rock and roll. All right. Because this weekend, I'm telling you, is going to be the kickstart of this year, especially with this weather, especially here in the Midwest, anyway. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Like I always say, let's get your clients verified, approved, and under contract. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good luck, everyone. Have a great weekend.